boy, here it is.
I
also sometimes like drop a little bit of pellets, but in the US it's still relatively rare. What's above the tank? Look at that. This is the Bahama Llama's whipping willow. Look at that, the small one, it grew a lot. Hey, what's up Reefers? Today I'm super excited because in my hand we have a new package from Joker's Coral. If you've been following the channel, you know that I have received coral from Joker's Coral before, namely the New York Nick's Gold Torch as well as the really popular goldenrod Anacropora. So he'd been following my progress, he saw that the corals in my tank are doing well, so he thought that there's one addition that I am sorely missing in my collection, and he just so happened to have it, so it's in the box. Oh boy, here it is. Let's get this into the tank first and then we'll talk about it. Oh, look at this guy right here. Absolutely beautiful. We're gonna put him here to acclimate first. Like so. And then we'll slowly move him up a little bit closer. See how bright this is. It's gonna be great. It's called the Tropicana. But let's talk a little bit more about it once the corals settle in and when the light actually turned on. Today, I attempt to make another gamble with the devil. The issue we're trying to solve is all these Aiptasias. Look at all these Aiptasias. They've been grown rampant, unchecked. Not just on the sandbed, even though a lot of them are on the sandbed, but also on rocks. Look at this, look at these. So I've tried different things. I've tried Aiptasia Eating Filefish, which is pretty much the Bristol filefish or the Medib filefish, depending on who you ask. I had, the one I got started picking at corals, LPS in specific, so I rehomed them. And I tried peppermint shrimp, but they never lasted too long in this tank, probably because of the pistol shrimp that live right back there. And I'm also not a fan of the shrimp stealing food from coral's mouth when I feed the corals. The other thing I tried is Bergia nudibranch. So those are somewhat successful, except they all disappear over time as the Aiptasia start running out, and as a result there's always one or two Aiptasia left and they'll just repopulate the tank again. I feel like it's an ongoing thing. Yeah. Oh, can't wait anymore. The other thing I tried is the Aiptasia. I've tried this. After a week or so, it just kind of pop out from a different spot, and I feel like there's just a lot of spots I could not get to with Aiptasia, which is kind of like Aiptasia eggs. So. Okay, alright, so today, like I mentioned, I signed another gamble with the devil and got another Aiptasia Eating Filefish. So my hope is that this one will go a little bit easier in terms of other corals because they have so many Aiptasia to eat here. And I told Leon that this is his new pet fish, even though he did not pick it. But do you know what kind of fish this is? Leon, where are you going? So Leon, what do you have here?
Fish.
What kind of fish is this?
Butterfly fish.
Oh, he loves butterfly fish. So what we're gonna do here is to float the bag for 15 minutes to equalize the temperature inside the bag versus the tank. So we got that. I'm not gonna drip acclimate the fish because I feel like the filefish is pretty hardy. I'm not gonna do safety stop, which I normally do on scaled fish. But usually filefish, I've never had any issue acclimating them or bringing any kind of parasites. Knock on wood. Well, this is not wood. Right here. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. So hopefully no issue. But I was watching this guy at Petco and it's really, really active. So it should be no problem at all. But anyways, today Leon is my little helper. So Leon, give me 5. Yeah. One thing a lot of people ask me is what do I feed my fish, and a lot of curiosity for the Amphias. So these are the Lightail Amphias. I got 2 batches in here. The first batch I got about 2 years ago, or maybe 2.5 years, a long time. So the male and 2 of the larger females from the first batch. The second batch I got from Fantastic, 3 smaller females, and they're all accounted for, all super, super healthy, and obviously really rambunctious. In terms of feeding them, I have the Avast auto feeder, and it runs 3 times a day for 2 minutes each time. And I am feeding the Bach Reef Supplies Meister shrimp right here, and also the, I can never pronounce this, Calanus, also from BLS, and I also mix in my favorites, Ocean Nutrition Prime Reef Flakes, and whenever I walk by the tank, I'll feed them Benepets. Usually one time in the morning and one time at night, but I may switch it up. Instead of doing this, I may do like Gani Power, I got Reef Roids, I got, I also sometimes like drop a little bit of pellets, these Reef Nutrition TDO Chroma Boost. I also have the Sustainable Aquatics Hatchery Diet. I just mix them up. It's not like every day to do certain things, but I just kind of have a mix, and fish seems to enjoy the variation. And yeah, and of course I also put some like nori here. I do use the Two Little Fishies feeding pouch. I've used this for a long time, and to the point where the hole is kind of worn out, so I just kind of like cut up the mesh on the side and put the magnet on the side, so I see the magnet on the side. So far I like it versus a clip. Unless you roll the seaweed and then clip it that way, sometimes the seaweed just kind of like break off and float around, but the pouch works well.
Moments later.
Alright, so we pour the fish out into the net. We discard all the fish store's water, and let's go ahead and get this little dude out. You see? Neon, fish is in. You see him?
Yes, he's swimming.
He is swimming. So there's a Aiptasia Eating Filefish. Used to be known as the Bristol tail filefish or the matted filefish, but I guess calling it Aiptasia Eating Filefish has more marketing value. Everybody these days is looking for solves, right? To like Aiptasias and flatworms and bubble algae, all those. Alright, let's see how he fares. These guys are interesting because when you have Gorgonian and stuff like that, they like to hide among the branches. The one I had previously even bite onto the tip of one of the Gorgonian branch and just kind of sway among the water currents. So it's really cool to look at.
It's only for me.
Yeah, that was yours, man. But unfortunately for the last one, it was picking at LPS.
See his eye.
You want to see his eyes? Okay, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's doing fine. Not freaking out, not flipping over, and not swimming upside down. That would be bad. But right now it's really, really cautious. It's right there, underneath the rock arch, you see? They're just hiding. Trying to see what's going on.
This one is hiding.
This one is hiding. Well, this is the one, this is the soft coral that Lynn got me. It's is a type of Singulera. Has a purple body, bright green tentacles or polyps. Really, really interesting coloration. Supposedly pretty popular in Canada, but in the US it's still relatively rare. So this is really cool. But now it looks like the filefish are just settling in, so I guess we'll give them some time and check back on them later.
2 days later.
Fellas, it's time. She's like, God, for your camera. Surprise!
When did you grab your camera? What the hell?
How does it feel to be back here again? I think again, we got a nicer room this time. It feels cleaner and brighter.
I like the one that we had last time.
Really? Look at these. How cute are these? Look at this tiny little diaper here. Handful size. Wow, look at that.
I wish you would be home next life.
I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm still not. Look at all these, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Mom has it tough.
Look at this. Hey.
Well, originally we were gonna play some Switch, but I think just me is gonna play Switch then. She's all kind of like cabled up, so.
Many unbearable hours later.
Look at her. A little mean, just the way I like it. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop. Hey, what's up, Reefers? Do you guys notice anything different about the tank? Namely, what's above the tank? Look at that. So since the beginning of this tank, I wanted to do something a little bit different outside of the tank. Initial idea is to maybe put a pirate ship, most likely from One Piece because I'm a fan, on top of the water and just have it kind of docked back. But then with that, it'll be tricky to do the mesh top. So I figured, okay, let's do something a little bit more separated from the tank, but still kind of somewhat integrated. So I figured, what if I hang the flying Thousand Sunny above the tank? And with that, I've always wanted to do some kind of cloud background, and I've been just kind of like dragging my heel until this past Amazon Prime Day, and I saw that some of these DIY cloud is actually on sale, so I went ahead and go for it. So look at this. This looks nice, man. What do you think? And of course, I don't have to just stick to the one piece theme. In the future, I can swap it out to something totally different, or maybe even put some LED effects. That would be really cool. And one thing I really want to be sure of is not going to be a fire hazard. So you see that I actually do not have anything that's right above the fan or right sticking close to the LED bar just in case. So I got these guys a little bit higher up and offset. Initially, I have that big piece of background cloud kind of angled sideways so that I go from the background to the middle ground, which looks awesome. But then that makes it sit right above the radiant fan, which may get hot a little bit and things may get caught, may fall in there and get caught in the fan. I definitely don't want that. So I made an adjustment, pushed the cloud in the background all the way to the back. See, like this. And I also got the smaller clouds a little bit higher up and pushed to the front. So we got some foreground, midground, and background. And this is kind of like the next step of the 135 gallon tank. I also finally put the cap on for these maker's bar or maker's beam. So things are looking a lot neater, because before just that little Dada Sunny hanging in the middle of the airspace and not much going on, so there's not much context. But now we put a couple clouds up there and I think it looks fantastic. Let me take another step back. Look at this. I mean, the bar is still kind of like an eyesore. I do have enough of these polyester to make some cloud to cover this entire part. But again, I want to make sure this is not a fire hazard, so I figure I forget it. It's not worth the risk, and just kind of keep them separate like this. In the future, maybe I'll do something else with the bar, but for now, I think this is good for now. All right, next up, let's take a look at some of these corals, namely the one that Joker Coral sent a little bit earlier in this video. Up right there, that is the Tropicana Anacropora. It's going to be a nice orange color. As we get a closer look, we see that color is already starting to come back. It was bleached due to shipping, got really pale, but I mean, some corals just do that, so I did not freak out. I was like, oh, it's normal. It's going to take a little bit of adjustment. So I can see the color is darkening already, and we already see the neon green tip, so this is going to look fantastic once it colors in. Well, speaking of corals, I got a great tip in terms of the weeping willow from Daniel of New York, of moving it up a little bit higher into bright lights or brighter lights and hitting it with more flow. And sure enough, look at this. Just after about 2 months of the placement change, it already adjusted to the new environment, opened up, and sent out much longer polyps. Look at this. It almost looked kind of like a torch, right? Almost blending in with the torch, but this is the Bahama Llama's whipping willow that is super popular. Everybody loves the whipping willow after Mr. Jake Adam named the corals, and it's the popularity just never died down, which is insane. But I'm also really happy to see a soft coral take the top spot. Alright, you'll notice that whenever I'm in front of the tank, especially early in the morning, all the fish are kind of clustered on this side. It's because usually whenever I come down in the morning, I feed the fish, and usually it's from this side because that's where the porthole is. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. There you go. One more squirt. Look at these fish go. Yeah, I love feeding fish, and I know we all call this a reef tank, but honestly, like fish kind of trumps coral for me for the most part because it's so interactive and lots of movement, lots of color, and some personality. Not all of them have personality, but a decent amount of them do. So I really love the fish. Corals are nice too. Don't get me wrong. Oh, look at this guy. The yellow line goby is cleaning the yellow goby, yellow tank, which is kind of cool. All right, one more squirt. Can't help myself. That was a tiny squirt. And the filefish is actually just working in the background, picking at things. I don't see where he is. All right, next up, we're gonna use some Benepets and see if we can lure out the elusive fish. If you've been following the channel, you probably know what fish I'm talking about. All right, so we got some Benepets down, and oh, there he is. Look, both of them. Look at that, both of them. Upside down goby, both of them. This is the first time I'm seeing both of them at the same time. Oh, you see that little guy right there? Where's the other one? The other one was here. Up there, back there, back there. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, right there, that's one. 2. That's nice. I'm not sure if they're paired up or not. Supposedly Goby are pretty easy to pair up. So, both of them. This is awesome. This is a treat. I know the footage sucks. I probably should have scraped this side of the glass, but I was not expecting this to happen. Look at this guy. Look at how beautiful it is. That's why I love these fish, even though you don't really see them that often. But look at the nice striking white and black line. And back there. There. Look at that. The small one, it grew a lot. Almost caught up in size with the bigger one now. But yeah, they're definitely bolder these days. It's almost expected to see them if I come to the back of the tank, but I've never seen them both out at the same time. I knew both of them are still here because one is large and one is small. Although they're kind of more equal in size now, but this is awesome, dude. Oh, this made my day. That's great. That is great. I need to clean the glass here. And just looking back here, look at these. These GMK, Grandmaster Krakens. Zoas are doing well for me. I need to frack up that piece and start trading for some corals or selling for some diaper money actually. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the goldenrod are growing well. Like there's no sign of it being cut. It kind of recovered really quick. I think another 2 months or so I can probably pull another set of frags. And oh, there's a filefish. Look at the filefish. I'm not sure what it's picking at. Maybe some copepods or probably copepods if it's slowly picking like that. I'm hoping for it to again go after all these Aiptasias, Bob's cousins. Look at all these guys. All these Aiptasias. I got a bunch of them. Look at these big. This is big guy right here, and I think I have some like odd and ends, like small ones on the rock as well. But interestingly enough, the ones on the rock are not that big, and I feel like a lot of the corals are actually shading out the Aiptasia, which is ridiculous, which is cool. So I'm hoping the filefish can at least help keep them in check. I'm sure there's still going to be 1 or 2 floating around, but at least as long as the population of the Aiptasia does not explode, it's all good. And this is one reason I don't like to feed bandipads right before filming, because it kind of cloud up the water for a little bit. So, well, it is what it is. The fish and corals do like it. And the other thing that I noticed is that my clownfish are loving the hammer corals to death. Look at this guy right here. I'm starting to lose heads because especially the female one, just nestle in so tightly. And you may be asking, oh, how about the anemone that you added, the Colorado Sunburst anemone? So for the longest time, it's living out down there. And just yesterday, I noticed that it moved up there. Which, I don't know. It'll find a spot, hopefully at higher lights, because down there it just kind of looks almost like a standard rose-bulb tip anemone with a slightly brighter tip. But I think under higher lights and maybe different flow situation, it may brighten up again into the solid gold look, which looks fantastic. The good news is that for the most part, all the pumps are covered. I got the NAM guard right there, inlet right there, so it should be safe. He can walk anywhere he wants. The only risk is to the other corals that it may sting. But we'll see. I'll keep an eye out on him and make adjustment as needed. But that is the current status of the tank right now. Just look at all these. Things are happy. Things are happy. Alright reefers, I've been doing a little local frag selling, and today is the last batch to go out.